Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Watch Dares TV. I'm back with another review, and this one is of Halloween Ends. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share the video for more of the latest movie reviews, and let's begin with this new review right here. So the movie stars very happy-go-lucky, like with the song called "Midnight Monster Hot Plan." I honestly thought it was the wrong movie when I was watching this on streaming because it just seemed like it was too much of a happy intro to a Halloween movie. I thought it was the wrong one, but so I had to take me a while to see this movie. I finding links and stuff because it just seemed too bright and happy for a Halloween movie. Like I said, I grew up on the Rob Zombie one, so I'm not used to one starting off so happy and sounding like a Disney Halloween movie. But anyway, so a husband and wife they go to a Halloween party and leave this babysitter named Corey to watch their kid named Jeremy. The movie also seemed like it also says it takes place in Halloween 2019. So I'm not sure how the storyline of these Halloween movies. So I figured each movie that came out took place in a year it came out in. So I guess this movie took place sometime after the 2018 one, or maybe I don't know the whole franchise. These movies took place in 2019. I don't know, but this one took place in 2019, so it was a couple years ago. The kid that he was babysitting says Michael Myers doesn't kill babies. He kills babysitters and not kids, which is ironic because the Corey kid ends up being the next Michael Myers, and the kid ends up dying, which is pretty ironic how that goes. Corey ends up getting scared and tries to find Jeremy, but ends up getting locked in the attic by the kid as a prank. Then he's stuck in there. He's trying to get out. They made us think that Michael Myers was in the house, but I guess the kid, Corey, was already going to be the future Michael Myers, so he's the killer, like I said. And he ends up accidentally killing the kid by knocking him over the banister. He ends up falling to his death right in front of his parents, okay? That was completely an unexpected opening. I didn't think that was going to happen. That totally, because this kid, he's so happy and nerdy looking. You don't think that he's going to be a future Michael Myers. It completely subverted expectations. I was not expecting for the intro to be like that. Um, then Laurie goes over the origins of Michael Myers, and the first two movies of these new movies that just came out. So there's scene. Everybody has been going crazy since Michael Myers has been gone for 4 years. Like I said, to me that kind of reminded me a lot of COVID times. People were all paranoid and acting frantic. We saw people acting in Halloween Kills, how crazy people were acting and stuff like that. I said also that reminded me of how people were acting during COVID. It shows how people can allow fear and to completely run their lives and make them not think properly. Lori has been with her granddaughter and she's been writing a book, so we see where she's been since Halloween Kills. I wish you could have shown more of her mourning her daughter's death. I think that she kind of I don't remember her really talking about it that much in this movie. It just kind of breezed on. She didn't really seem to talk much about it. So I thought she'd be more of on a hunt for Michael Myers. We already see all this. That's what she was on back in the Halloween 2018. So this time around she's just sort of living normally. It's been 4 years now, so I guess she's able to move on from Halloween Kills. Corey now has a job as a mechanic working with his uncle, so he's doing that. Then there's this radio host named Willie the Kid. He's the radio host talk, which is kind of weird because I thought people don't even listen to radio no more. But he's the radio host that people hear throughout the movie out in the streets. I already knew that he was going to get taken out because they already kind of showed him getting his face slammed in the trailer. So I kind of already knew that he was going to get his. We'll get into him later. Some high school seniors ask Corey to buy some beer, and they find out that he's the babysitter that accidentally killed the kid, and the leader bullies him, stuff like that. And then Lori comes and saves him, and then they end up slashing the bully's tires, and they dip off to the hospital after Corey cut his hand. The irony of Lori saving Corey is the fact that they end up feuding at halfway through the movie, so that's pretty ironic that she saves him when he ends up being the antagonist throughout this movie, well, secondary antagonist. Lori takes him to the hospital and they end up meeting her granddaughter, Allison. We can tell that there's definitely going to be a possible love interest between those two. We can already tell that was going to happen. Despite being in his early 20s, I thought it was kind of weird that Corey is still being treated like a child by his mom. So that was pretty odd. So that already gives you a sign that something's unusual going on with him. Lori to her granddaughter, but I thought the scene where Lori was talking to her granddaughter about her showing her boobs, I thought that was really weird and cringy and not really funny. I know they were trying to inject some humor into it, but geez, that was so cheesy. Somebody is I can already tell that when they left the camera on the meat compact the metal compactor, that clearly somebody was going to fall into that. I can tell the way that scene was shot. They made it seem like it was a foreshadow. And ironically enough, it wasn't a victim. It ended up being Michael Myers thrown in there. So that was interesting. The high school kid that picked on Corey, we see that he has a an abusive dad and stuff like that. That that got on him about the car. So we see that he got some issues in his own personal life too, which is probably why he's a bully. Lori and Frank, they meet in a grocery store. We can tell that there's going to be a rekindling of their relationship. And then Lori leaves, and she runs into this one woman who Michael Myers ended up, we thought, killed in Halloween Kills. Instead, this woman has her vocal cords damaged and she's paralyzed. This is the same woman that got stabbed in the neck with the whole, I think, piece of glass, whatever that was in Halloween Kills that we thought died. And she ended up blaming Glory, saying that basically she provoked Michael Myers into him doing all these killings. So they blame her for him being like this. Allison takes Corey to a Halloween party, and he finally gets out of his shell. Corey ends up running into the mom of the kid he accidentally killed, and we see why he stays inside because of trauma and how people look at him. One of the first foreshadows that we saw of him becoming Michael Myers is that one dude that showed us like his costume when he had like fake organs on his shirt, and then Corey has his mask on. He sort of tilts his head while looking at it. That was a foreshadow that he was definitely going to be the next Michael Myers because that's something Michael Myers does is tilt his head looking sideways. I like how they put that in there. That was cool. Nice foreshadow. Um, Let me see. The four seniors, when Corey's going home, the four seniors pick on him, and then one of the leader ends up pushing him over a cliff. And I'm surprised no phones were pulled out because typically everybody records stuff these days, especially I'm assuming teenagers. But anyway, he falls over a cliff, and he ends up being drugged into some hole by somebody. We don't know who it is. And Corey ends up waking up. He's in some weird underground sewer or something like that. He ends up walking. He ends up getting choked up by Michael Myers. Michael Myers ends up seeing in Corey's eyes, and he sees the I guess the killer in Corey. He sees the event that when Corey accidentally killed the kid, and he ends up letting Corey go. And shockingly, he doesn't kill him. The bum asks why he let him live, and then Corey ends up sort of accidentally killing the homeless guy. And we see that basically there's a chance that he's going to end up becoming the next Michael Myers we can see in this scene. So there's that. Corey ends up becoming more tougher after this event. He stares at Lori, kind of like Michael Myers, when he's staring behind that bush. That's classic Michael Myers scene. So that's another hint that he's going to try to be the next Michael Myers. He's just throwing in a whole lot of foreshadows. While talking with while talking to Allison, he says sorry, but he can't tell. You can tell that definitely there's some sort of insanity. Like he's really sort of starting to lose his mind, as you can see when he's talking to Allison and he's saying he's sorry and all the other stuff like that. He tells Allison that he ended up killing somebody, and she isn't scared. I don't know why she ain't scared and she ain't dip off from this man because he clearly got some issues going on, but she ended up deciding to stay with him, completely ignoring all kinds of red flags from him. Corey brings Allison to where the accident happened, and that's already another red flag. Who would want to ever go to that abandoned house again where the whole incident happened? But he takes her there, and she still don't look at that as no type of red flag. Lori meets Corey's overbearing mom, and like I said, she reminds me so much of like the mom from Carrie, and kind of similar to Norma Bates. She's just weird and got some issues going on, obsessed with her own son. She even in the scene, we saw her that she ended up kissing her own son too. Just a whole bunch of weirdness going on there. So that was already another hint that there was something unusual about Corey's life. In the diner scene, it seemed like Corey and Allison are talking with each other, and then Allison's like her drunk ex, or maybe some dude that she got a crush on, that's a cop, Officer Mulani comes and completely disturbs their date, and Corey ends up running him off. And then after the date, Corey drops off Allison, and Mulani ends up deciding to follow Corey. He's following him under the bridge, and he's attacked by Corey. Then he ends up getting put in a trap. Michael Myers ends up being the one to help. Corey ends up helping Michael Myers kill Mulani, and Michael Myers definitely doesn't have enough strength to end up killing him. So he's gotten weaker over the past couple of years. But we see that Michael Myers and Corey are now sort of developing an apprenticeship now. Mulani, yeah, so Officer Mulani was her crazy ex and stalker, so he ends up working with Michael Myers to get him up out of there, and that's how that goes. Any sane woman will definitely run away from Corey's behavior, but for some odd reason, Allison is attracted to this weirdo. So it's a horror movie, so people don't think straight. Michael Myers finally leaves the sewer, and Laurie almost spots him. So that was a nice scene that they had there. Laurie sees Michael Myers in Corey's eyes, and she ends up talking to the father of the kid that died earlier in the movie. And the kid felt sorry for Corey, and he didn't like the way people were just using that as an excuse to attack Corey and stuff like that. And that, even though that he ended up accidentally killing his own son, he didn't hold that against him. So I like the way that the father was able to at least have some compassion to Corey. Dr. Mathis and Nurse Deb, and they got a stunning house, by the way. Love that house. They get taken out by Corey and Michael Myers. I think that scene was shot very well, the way the director had that. Corey, his scarred hand, acting all strange and stuff like that. When Michael Myers was killing Dr. Debbie, I don't know what was up with him putting it up against the glass. That was pretty strange. But yeah, Corey already didn't like Dr. Mathis, so he was able to get him up out of here. So yeah, that whole scene was pretty interesting. Corey's descent into madness kind of reminds me a lot of that 2019 Joker movie, the way how he just came from being a nice guy to completely losing it, going off the rails. I kind of got that feeling that that's what they were kind of going for. The radio guy I remember him from back in the day. He used to make Vine videos, and that sounds so old. But he's on Instagram. He's like an Instagram comedian. He makes sketch videos. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Karan. Any scene that he was in felt like it took place in the 1970s with the neon lights and the afro and stuff like that from his radio station. The neon lights. I don't know if that was his costume that he was going for. He was supposed to look like he's from the 70s. I'm not sure. I think that's what they were going for, but he looked like they were making him look like he was somebody from the 70s or something. Anyway, Corey's mom doesn't like seeing him with Allison, and she ends up slapping him, like I said, and kissing him. Like I said, that's some weird Norma Bates type of stuff going on there. Whatever he was doing, Norma Bates or like the mom from Carrie. Yeah, I don't know. Corey sleeps in an old house where the kid that he was babysitting dies. That was strange. I don't know why Allison was cool with that. I don't know. Laurie by now knows that Corey has gone crazy, and she wants him to stay away from Allison. Of course, he's not trying to do that. Corey and Michael get into a fight, and he ends up taking his mask. I don't know what's going on with Michael Myers. We completely lost his way. That some young, skinny 21-year-old could end up overpowering him is beyond me. I don't know how he was able to fight a whole mob of people in Halloween Kills, but definitely you can see in this movie he's completely lost his mojo totally. Allison turns on Laurie when she tries to keep her away from Corey. I don't know why in the world Allison decided to trust this new dude over her own grandmother. That's horror movie logic that somebody would decide to trust a killer over their own close family members, but the girl, dumb. Corey ends up getting the teenagers that were bullying him. He ends up He ends up getting them to come to the junkyard that he works at. Corey ends up taking them all out. They all were dumb anyway, but he ends up taking them all out, including his uncle ended up accidentally dying by one of the other kids, but he ends up just he took all and you gotta remember these are teenagers too, and he just got them all up out of here. That was a crazy scene. Then he ends up taking his own mom out. Man. Also, I was wondering, were they going with some incel vibes when it comes down to Corey? Was because I don't know. It kind of seemed like that's what they were going for too. It kind of seemed like he was a bit of an incel too. I don't know. Wood Kid. Let me see. Oh yeah, they ended up taking out Willie the Kid, the radio host. Now that was the craziest death in the whole movie. I already knew he was gonna be taken out from the trailer, but his jaw coming off and the taking his tongue out, that was wow. That was one of the craziest deaths in the movie, definitely. Also, I don't know where in the world did Corey get all the strength from to be able to just do what he do, but he's gotten a lot of strength in this movie after he started becoming like Michael Myers. He got the strength to just take out all kinds of people. That weird serial killer strength he seemed to got. It just yeah. Lori was at home preparing to take herself up out of here, but she was using it as a trap to trap Corey, and she ends up shooting him, and he ends up going down over the banisters and falling down, kind of similar to the way the kid died early in the movie. And we think the showdown is about to begin, but he ain't the real Michael Myers, you know. So he ends up deciding to try to stab himself to kill himself in front of Allison. I don't know why would he be willing to sacrifice his life in front of her for that, just to get back at Lori was pretty wild, but he ends up doing that, and that causes Lori to just run off, thinking that oh my God, thinking that her own grandmother killed her boyfriend. So then the real Michael Myers comes back, kills Corey, and now the real showdown is about to begin. They fight it out throughout the kitchen like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and she ends up pinning Michael Myers to the table. She thinks that he's dead, but Allison ends up coming back and she finds out that the radio host dies. She comes back. They end up bleeding Michael Myers out and take him up out of there. The police decide to let Lori and Allison take his body, dump him in that grinder for all the people to see. Allison finishes her book. Now Allison believes her grandmother, and they sort of make their relationship stronger. Lori says a cool line. Evil doesn't die, but it changes shape. I thought that line was pretty cool. And because it kind of goes with Michael Myers' other nickname called The Shape. And then Lori and Frank, they reunite on the porch. That's the end of the movie. I thought this movie was pretty cool. I wish they could have shown more Michael Myers in it. I'm not really a huge fan of horror movies and stuff like that, or Michael Myers movies, but I wish the fight scene that they had between him and Lori could have been maybe a little bit more longer than it was. But yeah, they kind of got Michael Myers up out of here. We still don't know what the heck Michael Myers is, but it was a cool setup the way they had that. I wish, like I said, could have shown more Michael Myers instead of Corey, but it was a decent flick. I give it like 2 out of 4 stars. And yeah, I don't know if my video is about to cut out because my phone is cheap and it don't work right. So I'm just going to cut this video off right now. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, all that stuff. I'm doing reviews of some more stuff coming out. So check that out. And thanks for watching my video.